In this video, we are going to figure out how to take a file of data that is hosted on Amazon S3 and access it from a visualization or a JavaScript web page that is on a different domain. The technical way of talking about this is we're going to solve the CORS error problem, the allow access header problem that you end up with when you're trying to kind of run your visualization on one part of the internet, let's say on your own website, and you're trying to pull data from Amazon S3 and it just doesn't work. First, I'm going to walk you through what this error looks like, and then we're going to figure out how to solve it. So to start with, I have this web page called sample test page. And what it does is it reads in a JSON file called sample file, which is this is a sample local file right here. And what it does is it converts that JSON into a JavaScript object, and then it writes the sentence to the page. It grabs the part of the page that has the ID of debug, and then it sets it to whatever that sentence data is. So if we look at it, sample file.json says this is a sample local file. So when I refresh the page, it takes that and it inserts it right there into this is a sample local file. So if I change this here, that has been changed. I save it, I refresh, bam, it works. It's magic. Now, because you're building a web page, you probably want this to live on the internet at some point. And what you might end up doing if you want to automatically update your data or something is upload automatically your updated data to Amazon S3. So if you don't know about Amazon S3, check my other video, but it's basically web hosting for files hosted by Amazon, run by Amazon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to aws.amazon.com. We're going to log in. We're going to search for S3. Now I've already uploaded this file to S3. I did that in a previous video, and it's living right here. So it says test uploading files.s3 Amazon aws.com sample file.json. So the file looks exactly the same as the file that we have locally. But if we copy this URL and then we put it into fetch and we save it, our web page stops working. Now, what's happening here is access to fetch blah, blah, blah has been blocked by CORS, which means cross-origin resource sharing. No access control allow origin header is present on the requested resource. And I pay blah, 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 blah. So the issue is that when we try to access this file, it says, look, I don't know if you're allowed to access test uploading files.s3.amazonaws.com because you are not on the same web server. You might be trying to hack someone's things from another web server. So what we have to do is we have to explicitly say, no, 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 no. We want everyone on the internet to be able to access sample file.json. Note that this is different from just visiting the page. Anyone is able to read this page if they just load it in the browser. The fix that we are putting in and the error that happens with CORS is when your browser tries to get this from another web page. So when our browser tries to use fetch to download this file, that's why we're getting this error. So what we are going to do is we are going to find the bucket that this is in, test uploading files, open that guy up. Now, there are a few different ways to do this. The way we're going to do it is we're just going to make the whole bucket public. We're going to click permissions up at the top and then CORS configuration. So the CORS configuration editor that then says rn AWS S3 test uploading files and looks horrible. It's like, just add a new CORS configuration. And you're like, what do I put here? And it doesn't give you any good tips. If you click documentation and open up the documentation, all Amazon documentation is horrific, but it's pretty bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you what to put in here. And here it is. Bam. I'll put this down below the video. CORS configuration, CORS rule. Here are the domains that you are allowed to get this file from. Star means all of them. So you can get this file or get anything in the test uploading files bucket. You can get it without a problem. So we're going to hit save up on the top. And now this still works here. But now if we refresh our web page, it now magically works. So even though it's getting to test uploading files, s3aws.com, because we changed the CORS setting, permissions, CORS configuration, we said, hey, allow people to get this file from anywhere. Now we're good to go. And note that, again, there is a large difference between being able to just access the file by visiting the URL and having a web page access the file. So it's when you set the permissions of your bucket, the permissions of your bucket are what allow you to visit the web page or anyone to download this file. If you want to programmatically access this file from the web, from another web page, you need to change your CORS configuration, which is the separate thing that we worked on here. Next up, I'm going to make a video on how to automatically update this file using the Python programming language.